Hey everybody, welcome back to Hawkeye Skunk Works, and today we're going to talk guns. I promised you in the last video a gun video was going to be coming, and here it is. So we're going to talk about in this video probably two of the biggest topics that are addressed on our Facebook page are I'm going to start my first AR build, what do I do, and I'm going to buy my first concealed carry pistol, what should I get? So in this video we're going to talk about what I carry, and obviously it goes without saying that to each their own, and there's pros and cons to just about everything. It's just about finding what you like and going from there. So what I carry is a Glock 42, which is .380 caliber, and yeah, let's go ahead and take a little bit closer look at these pistols. So here I have two Glock 42s, and they are different in other ways than just the color on this one. So I guess we'll start with this one. They are both cleared. This is an FDE frame, factory frame from Glock. This is what I carry. This is my personal 42. And just real quick rundown on this pistol. I got it used, came with Trigicon night sights on it. I have to be honest, I'm not a huge fan of Trigicons. I've had them on some of my other Glocks, but I really don't mind them on this particular gun. I like them. This particular one, mine, has a Ghost Industries reduced weight connector in it, and the other one here does not. And before I made the video, I put them on my trigger scale, and it's an analog scale, so I zeroed out, and according to Glock's website, which I'm looking at here, the factory pulse is 5.5 pounds. I think it came out to about 6.5 pounds on my scale. Now whether my scale is off, I don't think that it is. I feel that it's pretty accurate. This came out to about 6.5, and with the reduced pull, this one came to about 4.5, 5. So it did basically what they advertise that it does. It actually doesn't say how many pounds it reduces. It just says reduced weight. It must be some legal liability thing, but it's got a much better feel. The trigger does. It's crisper. The brake is better, I think. Which I think the factory trigger is fantastic. I just wanted a little something extra in mine, so that's what I did. And that is pretty much it on this one. Now this one has got a couple things done to it. This is my wife's. I got mine first, and she liked it so much she had to get one, so we got her one, and that I have no problem with that when my wife says she wants to get a gun. So anyway, this one has factory sights on it. I'm probably going to change these sights out for something else. I'm not exactly sure yet on what I'm going to do with that. This does have the Vickers Tactical charging handle on the back. It gives her just a little bit extra something to grab a hold to. She's pretty tiny, and these guns are pretty easy to rack, but that just gives her a little something extra. She's not like just grabbing it like, you know, with her fingers. You know, it's just a little extra something, a little something sticking out there for her to grab a hold to and get some traction on. So it's got that, and then this one has the Vickers. You guys are gonna get mad at me. I'm technically not pointing at this at myself. It looks like I am, just because of the angle, but I'm not. This has the Vickers Tactical Tango Down mag release on it, and I don't really like it on this. I have one on my 17, and I really like it. I've had one on the 19, I really liked it. I don't really care for it on the 42. I like the factory one. I'm really okay with it on there. So why the 42? And this is by no means my first carry gun. I've had several others in other calibers, and I gotta be honest, I dogged this gun for quite a while when it came out before I put my hands on one, and finally got one into my hands about a year after they came out, and I liked the way that it felt. a lot. And I didn't think much of it until after that. I was one of those diehards. Well, as soon as Glock comes out with a single stack 9, I'm going to get one. And they did, and I did, and I liked the gun a lot. Around that same time, a buddy of mine picked up a 42 and told me how much he absolutely loved it, and he had a 43 as well, and he preferred the 42, and it's like, well, crap, you know. Now my curiosity's peaked, so I picked up a 42 used for a good price, and I was done. I absolutely loved that gun. I still was not a huge fan of the 380 round, but we can talk about that a little bit more. The capacities on the guns were the same. I'm not a huge guy, but I'm not a small guy either. But I'm fairly picky on how I carry, where I carry, like physically on my body, where I carry, comfort, stuff like that. And the gun, I found myself when I had the 42 and the 43. In my opinion, my feel, I may as well have been carrying a brick when I was carrying that 43 compared to the 42. And there's just, the recoil is non-existent. It stays flat and level when you're shooting it. And so I sold my 43 and I kept the 42. Now I'm going to look at some specs just so you guys know on Glock's website. The overall length is almost 6 inches. The width is under 1 inch. The barrel length. Now I'm a little OCD, obsessive when it comes to my carry weapons. I want the longest possible barrel in the smallest gun. The barrel is where you get your accuracy. A lot. Let's just leave it at that. So I want to get the biggest, longest barrel that I can get, which is, this is 3 1/4, which is a pretty decent length barrel for a gun this size. Like I said earlier, the trigger pull is 5.5 from the factory, and yeah, the magazine capacity is 6+1 from the factory. We'll talk about that in just a minute. But yeah, I love this gun. I've been carrying it for 2 or 3 years now, I think, and I love shooting it. I'm accurate with it. And I'm confident with it. That's a big thing. I've had other guns that I wasn't confident. I hate to say that now in hindsight, but I wasn't confident carrying those guns with my accuracy. And with this, I am. I'm very confident with how I can perform with this pistol. So, I'm sure you guys have a lot more questions. Feel free to leave them in the comments below, and I'll touch as much as I can on everything. And that being said, let's go ahead and move on to magazines for this gun and some of the holsters that I use. So, I've got 4 mags here. Each one of these guns came with 2 mags from the factory new. This one is just a standard plastic follower. This is a 6-round. Nothing special to that, and that's where we start changing. This is a factory 6-round also, but this has a Magguts stainless follower and spring. This is a +1 magazine, so this is 7 rounds. I strongly recommend Magguts. I will put a link in the description. If you guys should check them out. They make springs and followers for a lot of carry pistol mags, small pistol magazines for those. Good product. Now we come to, this is the mag that my wife keeps in her gun most of the time around the house. I honestly, this says Cage on the bottom of it. I know there's several people that make these, and I think there's one manufacturer that makes them for all the companies. But this is a +2. This does not have Magguts. This has just the standard stuff. I have a buddy who has one of these with the Magguts, so that makes it actually 8+1, and he's had perfect function out of that. And I keep this in my wife's gun, although it says she's smaller. It gives you a full grip, and that just gives a little bit more control and a little bit better feel, and so that's how she keeps it around the house. Moving on to my main magazine that I carry. This is another 6-round, obviously. It has the Magguts in it. so it makes it 7. Then it also has a Pierce +1 pinky extension on it. Now, I'll be honest, I'm not a huge fan of Pierce's products. I've always had good luck with the function of their products. I just have never been a huge fan aesthetically of their products. I don't know why. It's just something about them. But this one I do like a lot. It looks good in the gun, I think. It fits nice. It's got texture on the front that matches. It fits my pinky on there really well. Just, you know, it gives me enough grip on there so it's not going to slide off. It gives me a lot of control. And it's like I said, it's a +1, and then I added it to the Magguts +1. And there's a little like clip inside in the bottom of here, and all I had to do was trim that down a little bit with a pair of side cutters for the spring to clear and cycle. And I have put lots of mags through this, and it doesn't cycle that smoothly if you're just unloading them by hand out of the mag, but in actual field function testing, flawless, no problem. So this gun now is 8+1, and yeah, that was a lot of people's big argument with the Glock single stacks, is they were only 6, but with a little bit of ingenuity and a lot of products out there, I know there's even more products since I've modified these. There's a lot of products out there now for different options. Terran Tactical makes some billet aluminum ones. Glock store. I had the Terran Tactical +2 on my 43. They're pretty heavy. They're kind of bulky. They're extremely high quality billet machined aluminum. But yeah. So let's talk holsters real quick. You guys know I do Kydex, so let's talk about some of my Kydex that I've got. My main carry holster is a little inside the waistband, canted. I usually carry that at my 5 o'clock position, or sometimes my 3 o'clock. Like if I'm riding a bicycle and I've got some gym shorts on, it works really well at my 3 o'clock position. Actually, I've got a little pocket holster here. I can slip in a pocket. You can see I've bent out the side a little bit. That gives you some thumb grip to push off of when you're drawing it, and the retention is really low on that. And then for wintertime, my sweatshirt, jacket, you know, whatever button-up shirt, I've just got a little outside the waistband. Super comfortable, super slim. So I carry that in the wintertime. What do you guys think about the 42? Let me know. Start some discussion. Now listen, I realize there's probably a lot of people out there that hate Glock, that hate 380 round, that hate the 42, whatever. Please don't take this to be an opportunity to bash the 42. Take it as an opportunity, if you don't like it, to recommend something else, because a lot of people that are probably going to stop in and see this video are going to be first timers, and instead of arguing, let's help. Let's try to do that. Instead of pointing a finger and putting something down, lift something up that you like. How about that? So what do you guys think of the lights? I know I mentioned in my last video that sometimes it's hard to find the right amount of lighting and stuff, so I bit the bullet, pun intended, so I could have some better lighting for these videos, so I could bore you guys a little bit more, but in good lighting. So okay, so I need to wrap this video up. I apologize, it's gone way too long, and I cut out a whole lot of other stuff, as you guys have probably caught on by now. If it's something that I'm talking about that I like, which is anything that I take the time to talk about, I usually go too long about it. If you've got any comments, questions, be sure to put it in the comments below, in the section below. If it's your first time to the channel, be sure to hit the subscribe button. Please give us a thumbs up. Check out our Facebook page, check out our Twitter account, and as always, have a good night. Thank you.